Hello and welcome to our monthly summary of the most important debates in the European Parliament plenary session. Increasing air temperatures, rising sea levels and more natural disasters. The world's climate is changing. The United Nations estimates that greenhouse gas emissions will have to be limited in order to avoid severe consequences for the world's population.
2009 will be a crucial year in the combat against climate change. In December, governments will meet at an international conference of the United Nations to agree on new targets to reduce harmful emissions from cars and industry. The new agreement will replace the Kyoto Protocol, which will expire in 2012. Commissioner Stavros Dimas thanked the rapporteur Karl-Heinz Florenz for his excellent work and underlined that his report comes at the right time as the Union prepares the Copenhagen summit.
On the way to Copenhagen, we have to mobilize all our forces and cooperate to achieve the best possible result. I am satisfied that the report agrees with the Commission analysis, which emphasizes that the economic and financial crisis should not be used as an excuse to delay action combating climate change. We also agree that acting to cope with climate change can be a solution to today's economic crisis.
Prior to the United Nations conference in the Danish capital Copenhagen, the European Parliament has submitted its proposals on how Europe can reduce greenhouse gas emissions. The report was drafted by EPPD member Karl-Heinz Florenz, who suggested a whole series of practical measures to improve the efficiency of power plants, reduce emissions of cars, and provide better isolation for buildings in order to save as much energy as possible.
Wir wissen sehr genau, dass mit Verboten und mit Sanktionen
We know that we can achieve little in relying on sanctions or by prohibiting things. Instead, we have to support measures, changing people's minds, and increase innovation and motivation.
Die Ingenieure in Europa jeden Morgen mit großer Freude aufstehen.
Our aim has to be for engineers all across Europe to get up every morning and try to build more efficient machines to make better and more efficient use of the resources of our children.
Overall, the European Parliament is calling for a substantial reduction of greenhouse gases by 2050. It also recommends the use of intelligent traffic guidance systems and energy-neutral new buildings. With these detailed proposals, the European Parliament has led the way towards an agreement at the December Copenhagen conference.
Illegal immigration is considered quite a problem in several EU member states, not least in countries whose geographical position makes them natural first destinations for people trying to enter Europe. But there is also a humanitarian dimension to this problem.
People set out on hazardous journeys, trying to cross the Mediterranean Sea, risking their lives. Some do not make it. Employment of illegal immigrants in the EU is considered a pull factor for these immigrants. In a new directive, measures are taken to introduce sanctions in member states against employers of illegally residing third country nationals. EPPED spokesperson Simon Busuttil managed to negotiate a successful compromise in the Committee on Civil Liberties, Justice and Home Affairs, which has received strong support in Parliament.
What have we actually done with this law? We've attacked one of the main sources that motivate people into illegal immigration. We're attacking the attraction that leads to illegal immigration, and we're attacking the incentive. And what is the incentive? To people who are considering risking their lives to go to another country because they think they can find jobs, often illegal. We are now sending a very clear message that illegal work is no longer tolerated or tolerable. And for that reason, there is absolutely no point in risking one's life crossing the seas to go into Europe because you think you'll find a job. This will no longer be possible. And as the previous speaker has said, it is also important that this is not only a tool to regulise irregular situations, but also to send a clear message that illegal employment can no longer be tolerated.
The recent conflict between Russia and Ukraine has seriously threatened energy supply to Europe, and along with the gloomy economic outlook, the EU had to act and adopt a comprehensive energy strategy. Parliament debated and voted on a report on the issue.
Slovenian MEP Ramada Jordan Cizel speaking for the EPP-ED group on the second Strategic Energy Review, was positive about the report and underlined its importance.
In the field of energy, we need a balance between safe and reliable supply, environmental protection and action in the field of climate change and competitiveness. In our political group, we have always supported all three of these goals as a basis for our common European energy policy.
Jordan Cizell pointed out that climate change and the regular problems with the European supply of Russian gas strengthened the importance of the diversification of our common energy policy.
In the European Union, we have to promote projects that will strengthen energy infrastructure and which will allow us to import energy sources via different lines.
The Slovenian MEP also stressed that while efficient use of energy has to be our priority, we also need to improve our energy mix to include a larger portion of energy sources that do not emit greenhouse gases, such as renewable and nuclear energy. While Jordan Cizell congratulated the rapporteur on the report, which also confirms the 2020-20 goal adopted by the European Council and the European Parliament, she explained,
The EPP-ED group will not support amendments that reduce the diversification of energy sources, but will vote for amendments that increase the security of energy supplies.
This programme was brought to you by the press service of the EPP-ED group, the driving force in the European Union. For an extensive version of the EPP-ED report, log on to our website, epp-ed.eu. Thanks for watching. See you again soon.